Welcome to Survival Theory. I'm in a rural area about 4 or 5 months after SHTF. Most places are now abandoned. People have gone away. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of death. But I'm out scavenging, looking for holdouts. And I came across this, an abandoned garden. Now the house it belongs to has already been scavenged. There's nothing really in there. But this is kind of offset near the woods. It was totally overlooked by people going house to house. So this could be a fantastic treasure, not only in readily available food, but for long term as well. Let's take a look around. Now this beanstalk, or many of them it looks like, it's all dead, it's gone, but there's a few still alive, and look at there, some beans. So I'm not going to harvest these. I'm going to go back to my group and we'll come back and develop a plan, maybe salvage these plants and keep them alive during the winter. So I'm not going to touch anything that's alive right now. But here's something even more valuable. Take a look down here. Look what I found on the ground. These dried pods got seeds in them. That's potentially our crop for next year. So that is fantastic. If they're not dry, they're a little moist, we'll just dry them out. We'll plant them and see what happens. It's worth investing the time to see if they grow. Now some plants will not produce fruit. When you gather the seeds and plant them, that plant will not produce fruit because they're genetically modified. But it's worth the chance to grow it and see if you get fruit or vegetables. That's what I'm talking about right there. Nice full bean with dried seeds inside. Definitely harvest that. And here's a good sign. The seeds that are falling are sprouting. Fantastic. And over here we've got tomato. Yep, it's all dead. There's a little bit of green on it, but no fruit. Now what I'm going to look for is any rotten tomatoes or dried up rotten tomatoes, because they may have seeds inside. I don't see any, so I'll move on for now. Now here's some eggplant that's still alive. I know it's eggplant because, like most gardens, they've got the label in the dirt. So got information on the plant. I'll stick that back in the dirt. And right here, I've got some rotten fruit. The plant has died off here. Now this rotten fruit is very valuable. Seeds, lots of seeds. That could be next year's eggplant harvest. So I'm definitely going to take this, we'll take it back to camp, separate the seeds, dry them out, and find a way to grow them. Here's one that dried up on the vine. It has seeds in there, but they may be rotten. I'm going to save this anyway. Our group has a gardening expert. We'll let them make that decision. I know what that is without reading the label. Bell pepper. We have live bell pepper in the abandoned garden. That's awesome. So I'm going to leave this alone, and the group can come back and we'll figure out what to do. And look at this. Jalapeno, a very hardy plant. That jalapeno is almost rotten. Got some fresh jalapenos here. Looks like these plants just need a little TLC. But again, I'm going to let the group decide that. For now, I'll take this one because it's almost rotten. We'll gather the seeds for it. Just put that with that eggplant and take those back. Here we've got some more hardy plants that don't die off very easily. This is bell pepper again. Look at that. There's one that's starting to rot. So I'll take that one. We'll gather the seeds for that one. Those are still growing. Got lots of new ones coming out. Excellent source of food. That is excellent. Look at this, some kind of very small pepper. Very prolific. Little peppers everywhere. It's got some nutrients. Going to make our bland food taste better. So again, I'll let the group decide how to get this plant transported or gather seeds, whatever the experts want to do. And that's what I'm looking for right there. Looks like a rotten bell pepper, I guess. The seeds have dried out, so I'm going to save that. This looks like strawberry. I think these will survive anything. I don't see any fruit, but I know that we can transport this back to camp and grow it in containers. Have some strawberries. Excellent, excellent. Now we've got a tomato bed here. This is long since died in the summer heat, but right there we've got one that managed to live. And look at this. It's actually still budding. So possibly have some tomatoes. Take a look at this. This is some kind of pepper. It's barely alive. Maybe a little TLC, it can be saved. And look what we have here. A carrot. They're very hardy. I don't want to mess with it. Let the group decide if we're just going to harvest it or move it. You know, if it's ready to be harvested, maybe they'll harvest it. Now this bed is a mess, but they had some kind of vining vegetable growing out of it. So there's something in here growing that's still alive. Take a look at that. It's a potato. And there's some fresh stuff growing right there. So there could be potatoes in there, either ready for harvesting or maybe our gardening experts can get a potato crop going. Here's some more carrots. I see 1, 2, 3 more carrots. That's awesome. And this is some kind of fruit dried up. See, judging by the label, this was some kind of bell pepper or jalapeno. I can't read the label. I don't think the seeds in this are any good. It rotted too much. And checking the flower bed, they've got a rose bush here, still blooming. Now these rose hips are edible, nutritious. Lots of things to harvest around here. Looks like they had some kind of tree going here, but it died. And look at this, a mulberry tree. So there's mulberries also. And looky here, some kind of citrus tree. See, they've got the label on it still. Mandarin. Awesome. And they've got this shed kind of tucked into the woods. Look at all these supplies. Pots, soil. Oh, even stuff to help us grow. Sprinkler systems are of no use right now. Fire ant granules. Plant food. Containers to transplant these plants if we decide to do that. Some hose. There's some metal containers. Look at all these gardening supplies. So this is awesome. This is a great find. So I've collected any dried seeds that I found and these rotten vegetables. Hopefully we'll be able to harvest some seeds from those and have some crops next year. Now what I've decided to do is not mess with anything that's alive right now. I'm going to bring our gardener back here along with several people for some firepower and muscle and let our gardener evaluate this situation and decide what the best route is. They may decide to come back here and care for the plants, or they may decide some of them we can transplant. Now, I don't know. It's important to have gardening skills and a gardener in your group, and also some manuals on gardening, because after SHTF you come across a place like this, this is a super valuable resource. So I'm glad I found it. Plus we've got a citrus tree over there. You've got potatoes. I mean, this is just fantastic. So thanks for watching Survival Theory. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.